being here. Thank you so much. All right, let's do it. Thank you. Okay. Good morning, investors. Thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your busy schedules. I'm Sember Lucas,
And I'm Katie McKenna,
and we are Brew Crew.
the crew that fills your brew.
Now, I know you're asking, what is Brew Crew? Brew Crew is a mobile app that is an alcohol delivery service, and it is an Uber concept GPS. And if you've ever used Uber and you've ever seen the location services, so you're going to get a personal driver to go pick up alcohol from you, and they drop it off wherever you are. How many of you have heard about an alcohol-related driving accident in the last 6 months? A lot of you. Now, I remember Miss Barley at the beginning of this class asked us, what is our purpose and what is our drive to do our app? Me and Katie McKenna's purpose is to really demolish the drunk driving statistics in today's society.
So for our competitors, our main one is minibar delivery. However, they do not focus primarily on the delivery of alcohol, and they do not have location services on their drivers or even communication with them. Our second competitor is Favor. They have partnered with HEB2U, so they have a wider range of people to deliver to, but they also do not focus primarily on the delivery of alcohol. So what makes us different is the contact with the driver for real-time updates on delivery. And these are some of the times that it takes for these companies to deliver the alcohol to you. So for our interviews, we have interviewed up to 75 people, and 63 people said that they would use the app frequently, so that means 84% of all of them would be using the app frequently.
And also keep in mind that the population of San Antonio right now is 1.7 million people. This is about 75 people of that 1.7 million. So imagine 84% of 1.7 million people over 21 using the app. Imagine the possibilities.
So for our key metrics, we have the ratings on our mock app and the solution interviews, and also the statistics on how our mock trial goes with the effects of drunk driving in our area.
Now, I know a lot of you are thinking we are both 17-year-olds working on establishing a 21-year-old and up company. So we talked to Vince Cantu, and he's the owner of Moses Rose's Hideout, which is a bar downtown, and he helped us with liability insurance and all of the lawyer stuff. And he told us actually we do not need a liquor license since we are basically the middleman of people purchasing alcohol from gas stations and stuff like that, and we're delivering them. So we do not need a liquor license, only a vendor license is required. And our drivers would have to be TABC approved drivers though. So our total accessible market, we started off with everybody in Texas over 21 and under 62, and that came out to about over 5 million people, making our revenue 29 million. But since we are a startup company, we do want to take it into reserve. We took the population of all of San Antonio over 21, which came out to about 700,000 people. 56% of people in San Antonio are over 62, so we factored them out. And then we took 24% who do not drink on a regular basis, and that brought us out to over 100,000 potential buyers in San Antonio alone. So our first year predictions, we're looking at over 100,000 potential buyers, like I said earlier. Average price of a six-pack of beer is about $5.79, and we are going to do a 20% markup on that, making a $1.58, sorry. Prediction of one purchase, meaning that people are going to purchase once from our app, is about $500,000 and $231,000 after expenses. And I know you're asking what expenses. So I looked at the statistics on how much Uber charges or pays their drivers, which is between $15 and $25 an hour. So $20 for each driver is a very attractive price to get drivers to actually come into our company. And we do, like I said, how we're going to make our profits is we do have a delivery fee of $6 and we have a 20% markup on all purchases. We would want to start out with 50 drivers in total, and we would want them to drive, we would want 10 drivers a day averaging 5-hour driving day, which means $100 per hour, $1,000 a day, $365,000 a year, and that's all the expenses that I subtracted from the original $500,000. So growth, our growth, we were hoping that we were going to do 57%, and 57%, that's a weird number, right? But I looked at statistics through Favor, Uber Eats, Postmates, if you've ever used those. We looked at that and we thought that was a very reserved number to use. So year one after expenses would be 200,000, year two, 900,000, and then year three over $1 million. So our plan, how we're actually going to start this into action. So the mock trial, which are with our friends who are over 21, we're actually going to do it with our friends, family, and see if this is an actual viable option. We'll start mid-February. Our mock app will hopefully be up by March 15th with the help of Brandon Kopp, who is a technology executive for the Laredo Border Patrol, who helps with a lot of technology down at the border. And then we would also want to get statistics through our app and how it's doing with people in San Antonio.
So this is primarily what our app would look like. You have the location of the driver and the approximate time of when they're going to get there, and also the communication with them, like at the bottom or something, to communicate with the driver to make sure everything's okay.
Okay, and then next is most importantly advertising. We definitely want to do guerrilla marketing since we are a startup. We want to do stickers, business cards, pens, anywhere you can imagine. Getting this name out there is a very catchy name, Brew Crew. It rhymes, so we want to get it out there with the younger generations, older generations, anything in the middle. We also want to do Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, younger, and obviously our customer segment is huge. It's 21 to 62. So being on all platforms of social media is very important. And this is like a mock ad of what Facebook ads would look like. So what we need the $500 for, we need $100 for our mock trial to see if this is a very viable option to do in San Antonio and if people really click with this app. We need $50 for trademarking the name. And we know that this is a very expensive and long process for trademarking, but this would really get a dent into getting Brew Crew our name. We need $25 for a licensing fee, and then $325 for a mock app and advertisements. Now, this is the most expensive part of our thing because we really need to see how many people are clicking on our app, using it, and really how we're getting this out there and known. Thank you so much for taking time out of your days and listening to us, and we hopefully will be the crew that will be filling your brews soon.
A little more about the drivers. Did you say it's a per hour, or is it more of a Uber kind of model?
I'm sorry, like paying the drivers like as like we're paying them?
Yeah, is it who are you going to recruit as drivers, and then how are they?
So we're gonna pay them $20 an hour for how many hours like they drive and how many based on how many purchases they like make and deliver. Like we took the statistics in from that, and like if they make 5, they're gonna get the full $20. If they make 2, it's gonna decrease from there. It just depends on how many people are ordering at the specific timing.
You're paying them by the hour?
Yes, sir.
Not by the delivery.
No. Because we thought we were looking at Uber, and it's very Uber how it works. I know there's an amount of drivers, and they took into consideration that you get paid less by the hour based on how many rides you get. So we're going to do based on how many purchases they're making or how many deliveries they're making at the time. We're going to pay by that. It's not an exact, like per se, like $20 per hour.
I think you'll need to be able to explain that more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
that is actually gonna work.
Yeah.
And you may want to think more about the Uber model, where
Yeah.
drivers are only getting paid if they're actually doing deliveries.
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
How far away that delivery is and those kinds of
Yeah.
things.
Yes, sir.
And are you, go
Go
ahead. Are you going to, so with those drivers, I'm assuming, would they, or would the consumer get to choose from a particular place what they want? I mean, how are they going to, decide what alcohol they want? And then when they deliver it, are they going to maybe at least ask to see an ID of the person to make sure they're 21, so you're not delivering to an 18-year-old?
So our terms and services, I'm sorry, I did not say this in our presentation, but to even get into our app, we're going to have a barcode that scans your ID to make sure that you are 21, and we're going to have double check when you actually get there, because if the person looks like our age, like you, and we have a terms and services page that says if you're way too intoxicated coming to the car, or if you live grossly underage, that you're not going to get a refund, you're not going to get your alcohol. It is some liability on the driver. That is why they have to be TABC approved drivers. drivers because there is some liability onto them. It's like a bartender. If a bartender overserves a client, they are liable for that. So it's gonna kind of be the same way with our drivers.
So Katie, you talked a little bit about the competitors. I don't think you went into any detail on Drizzly. How is this different than Drizzly?
They take up to 60 minutes. We're trying to decrease our time limit. That's how they're different.
Okay, so you need to, like, in your future pitches, that needs to be a big part of the compelling thing. What I heard as your, really what's driving this business is trying to keep drunk drivers, keep people from driving drunk. So if that's the case, then you need to be able to show how this model actually allows for that to happen, right? Because you could be delivering booze to my house, and then everybody at my house goes and gets in their car and drives. So I don't really know that actually, your model actually is going to improve that, but then you're talking about, from a competitive perspective, about being faster. So I think y'all got to figure out what's your story here, around what's driving you, what's the mission, what's your unique value proposition. I don't know if that's really crisp yet.
Yes, sir.
And one of the things you're gonna have to answer is if someone's too intoxicated to go get their own liquor, do you really wanna be delivering them more, as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
So, just be thinking about that in terms of how you present all this. Whenever I hear about these delivery type services, I think to myself, you've got Uber, Lyft, you've got a delivery network out there that's buzzing around. The best thing I think that you could do is plug into that. They're all independent contractors, so they could work for you as well. Lyft and Uber, drivers are kind of one and the same these days. And so you want to think about plugging into their network. They're already there. So you want to, I think, probably structure that relationship as close to what they're used to with Lyft and Uber as you can. That's also going to allow you to possibly find the person closest to the closest liquor store to the person that's asking for it and be able to actually deliver that. But I'm not sure what Drizzly does, but the second thing I'd say about just the business model itself, there's plenty of delivery services out there, okay? I'm always looking, if there's a specialty, I'm looking for, okay, what's the value add for that specialty? There's got to be a lot of value add. Speed is key to a lot of things. Alcohol, if you were an ice cream delivery service, it would be very, very critical. And lots of people want things fast. A specialty delivery service, I would be looking for, is there any other value add that I can do beyond speed?
Selection. That's
Might be selection, but anything that you could add to the transaction beyond what another delivery company couldn't, like favor. That's what I would be thinking a lot about.
So spend some time, I think you need to focus your target market, not just 21 to 62, because there's a lot, they're probably in San Antonio, a good portion of that 21 to 62 that are not drinkers. So you need to do some work around really focusing your target market. Then you can better define what your value proposition is, because what does that target really want? So we're going to go after this group of people rather than a really broad, everybody 21 to 62 needs alcohol delivered. There's probably a good portion of those people that don't even drink alcohol. So think about that, and I think it will lead to what's the value proposition? What do these people want?
You're going to be competing with Drizzly, I imagine, for drivers.
Yeah.
So you also need to be thinking about the drivers. How do you make the Brew Crew driver experience better, different somehow than the Drizzly experience? So I talk to Uber and Lyft drivers all the time when I'm in the cars, and the Uber people they like driving for Uber because they get more rides. They like driving for Lyft when they can because they make more money off of each Lyft. They tend to make more money off their Lyft experience than they do off the Uber experience. So these drivers who are driving for both understand the value prop for each of their, so you all need to think about that as well for your drivers. Good job.
Good job.
Great job.
Thank you.